G'day everyone, and welcome to Lake Kerford, where I'm about to go fishing for trout cod. Hey you! You're watching Robbie Fishing. Now it seems a bit weird saying that I'm going fishing for trout cod because they're a protected species and we usually only catch them as a bycatch. But you are allowed to target trout cod in two places in Australia, Lake Sambell and Lake Kerford. Lake Sambell is about 5 minutes down the road in Beechworth, and this one's Lake Kerford between Beechworth and Lake Stanley. Now, before any of you die-hard dedicated Lake Kerford anglers just get upset with me for talking about your favourite fishing spot, I've got some news regarding the trout cod fishery here at Lake Kerford. Just bear with me. I'll come and I'll pull up a seat and we'll have a bit of a chat. Years ago, when I first got my licence in the early 1990s, I used to come up here to Lake Kerford and I'd fish for redfin. It was a great redfin fishery. I came up here one winter's day and I fished in the snow because we're about 600 metres above sea level and it snows here occasionally. We used to be able to drive along the wall there and catch redfin and drive right around the lake. Then years ago they fixed the wall, they cut the access, you can no longer drive across. And in the 1990s, Victorian Fisheries Authority, they stocked Lake Kerford with yellowbelly, and what happened as the yellowbelly took off, we got some fantastic yellowbelly fishing, but the redfin all dwindled in numbers, and it got to the point we might catch 8 or 9 yellowbelly of an evening and maybe one redfin if we were lucky. Then in the late 90s, early 2000s, maybe it might have been a bit after, it might have been around about 2007 or something, I can't remember, but yeah, 20 odd years ago, they started stocking trout cod into the lake. They stocked heaps of trout cod into Lake Kerford, and they discontinued the yellowbelly stocking to focus on the trout cod. After putting them in here for a few years and monitoring them, they decided to open it as a trout cod fishery. And probably 8 or 9 years ago, I suppose, they opened it up as, they opened Lake Sambell and Lake Kerford as recreational trout cod fisheries, where you could come and legally target trout cod any time of the year, even now in November, there's no season, and you can keep one per day between 40 and 50 centimetres. So we've got a legal trout cod fishery, or 2 of them. Now, this is the news, breaking news. This hasn't been announced yet. But fisheries have contacted me and they've told me that I can mention it. Fisheries have deemed the trout cod fisheries here in Lake Sambell to be well, I think Lake Sambell, I know it's definitely Kerford, but I think Sambell as well, to be unsuccessful. They're not hearing many reports of fish being caught. I fish here a lot and I catch very few trout cod, and when I do, they're usually quite small. It hasn't been real successful. The trout cod haven't distributed right across the lake like they'd hoped. The growth rates they were hoping for haven't happened, and there's not very many people that they know of that are keeping a feed of trout cod or even catching one legal size. My friend Andy got a real nice one here a couple of years ago, about 50 centimetres or so. It was a ripper, but other than that, the only ones I've ever seen or heard of being caught are really small. There are a couple of elderly gentlemen that come here and they've told me that they've caught them up to 60 or 70 centimetres, but I think that's quite a rarity. So anyway, fisheries have deemed Lake Kerford to be unsuccessful, and I think Lake Sambell to be unsuccessful as trout cod fisheries. So what they're going to do, they're going to change it. They're going to net the lake or the lakes and try and get the trout cod out and move them onto other areas. They want to move them to rivers. They did tell me the rivers, but I'm not going to mention them in case I've got it wrong. They want to move them into some rivers where there's the potential for them to grow bigger and possibly even reproduce or spawn and establish natural recruiting populations where they might be more beneficial to the environment. So the long story short is fisheries want to put nets in here, and I think Lake Sambell, take as many trout cod out as they can, put them in some waters, in the waterways that are flowing, some rivers, and help to try and establish some natural recruiting populations, and then they're going to resume yellowbelly stocking in here like they did in the 90s, and trout stocking as well, possibly even brown trout and maybe even silver perch as well. So they want to take Lake Kerford and I think Lake Sambell, they want to take the trout cod fisheries away and replace them with just more urban fisheries with mixed varieties of fish that are much more easier for people to catch and better for families, and I really support it. I think it's a great idea. Now let's just have a quick look over here. Here's all the information on the information boards. Some stuff here that's been provided by Will Truman. Fishing regulations for trout cod in Lakes Kerford and Sambell only. Minimum size 40 centimetres, maximum size 50, daily catch limit 1 fish. And then there's lots of information the differences between trout cod and Murray cod and growth rates, how long it takes them to get to certain size. Size at maturity, Murray cod's usually 47 to 55, but trout cod can only be 25 to 32 centimetres before they breed. That's pretty fascinating. Anyway, it's a little bit early, but in another hour or two and it starts getting a bit later, I'm going to grab some lures and walk across the bank there and flick some lures and see if I can catch a trout cod. Now, just in case I haven't already been talking enough before I go fishing, let's have a look at what lures I'm going to be using tonight. This is the November Murray cod box, but Murray cod and trout cod will take similar lures. The pliers don't come as part of the box. I put them in there in case I forgot them. So I'll put that over here. This is the November Murray cod box from tackleclub.com.au. We have a Spro frog. These are really awesome surface frogs. I've got a couple of these at home that I've got from Tackle Club boxes. This one might be a little bit big for in here, but remember this is the Murray cod box, not the trout cod box. We've got a Damiki Brute. I love these lures and I love that colour, and that's probably the lure that I'll be using most tonight, I reckon. Awesome size, awesome everything for this environment. We've got this jig head. It's a 6th Sense Axle swing jig, some fancy thing, but there are underneath here some 6th Sense soft plastics to rig with that. So as long as I don't use the jig head, the 6 lures just there alone, plus them 2, plus we have the sticker, Tackle Club sticker, the brochure, a 6th Sense spinnerbait. That'll probably get a swim tonight as well. Probably the only thing that is unlikely to get a swim tonight is this frog, because I think it might be just a little bit too big for this for these trout cod. I might give them a go. I'll see how I go, but I'll definitely be starting with the Brute. Right, let's see what we've got.
6th Sense Divine Swimbait $21.99, 6th Sense Axle Swing $18.99, 6th Sense Diving Swimbait $14.99, Spro Bronze Eye King Daddy, that's that big surface lure, $34.99, Damiki Brute $16.99.
Total of $107.95, subscription cost $69.99, all this for just $2.30 a day. And if you use my discount code ROBBIE10 at the checkout, you'll save 10% more. I'll put the links and the information about my discount code in the video description below. Anyway, I reckon I've done enough talking in this video. I promise that the next time I turn the camera on, I'll be fishing. It's just gone 6:30 PM. It's a little bit early, but I'm going to start fishing now. As I said I was going to, I've tied on the little Damiki Brute 70 to start with. Now, while I was just chilling out for a while, waiting for it to get a bit later, I rigged up one of those 6th Sense soft plastics. As I was walking along the wall, I could see huge amounts of ribbon weed. So I rigged up one of those 6th Sense soft plastics with that jig head, and I was able to rig it weedless. So if I find the ribbon weeds annoying me too much with this little crankbait, I'll put that on and see how that goes. Right, here's my little weedless 6th Sense soft plastic. I'm interested to see how it looks in the water. It's just like fishing a redfin soft plastic. It doesn't have a blade or anything like a spinnerbait. It's just got a heavy head, and it is quite heavy. But will it get through the weeds? There's a big heap of ribbon weed where that's just landed. That's coming through it now. Feels like it's not even there. That's really bizarre. I really enjoyed using that 6th Sense soft plastic. Fishing it, being able to fish it weedless was invaluable along here, although unfortunately no fish liked it. So I'm going back to the Brute, the Damiki Brute. Ooh, UV. Not sure whether that might have had just some kind of a touch then, or whether I might have hit a weed or something, or a rock or something. Just felt a little bit unnatural coming through there then. got him. It was a fish. Yes. I've done what I set out to do. Look how dark it is. I've just hooked my first trout cod. I'll shine the torch on him now, so that just in case he gets off as I lift him out of the water, but I'll get down here and wet my hand. Alright. There we have it, folks. A Lake Kerford trout cod. Say hello, mate. Gone. Given all the talking at the start of the video, I'm not sure exactly how far into the video I'll be, but I reckon I'm probably 7 or 8 minutes into the video, fishing for 2 hours, and I'm on the board. It's important to note that when fisheries net Lake Sambell and Lake Kerford, they're never going to be able to get all of the trout cod out. There'll still be a few remaining. As such, the information boards and the current rules and regulations will all remain, just in case somebody flukes one. Now, I'm interested to know what fish species you would like to see stocked into Lake Sambell and Lake Kerford. Leave a comment below and tell me what you'd like to see put in here. Personally, I'd like to see yellow belly and silver perch in both lakes, brown trout in Lake Kerford, rainbow trout in both lakes, and, if possible, catfish. Although I don't know whether that's possible. But anyway, leave a comment below and let me know what fish species you'd like to see stocked into both of these lakes. Well, folks, I set out to catch a trout cod in a designated trout cod fishery, and I succeeded. I've done just that. I caught one, only one little one. That's a tough fishery. And that's probably why they're going to be netting the trout cod out of here and then moving them to a river where they've got the potential to grow bigger, faster, and spawn and reproduce. And then they're going to stock this with easier to catch fish like yellow belly or golden perch, possibly silver perch, rainbow trout, and possibly brown trout. Now, I'm not sure whether that includes Lake Sambell or not. I'll make a couple of phone calls and I'll put all the information in the video description below the video for you to go and check out so you can find out exactly what's happening. Thank you all very much for watching. Look at all them bugs.